Hey guys, welcome back to Tipharot. It's me Matt here, and today I want to talk a little bit about dealing with anxiety. Now, as some of you may know, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I've had anxiety for quite a while. In particular, I have social anxiety. I can, be completely fine in almost any situation, but in social situations, that anxiety can completely take hold and leave me paralysed. It's a very irrational fear, but it's one that comes up nonetheless. And when you have such a kind of paralysing fear like that, the common thing to think is, well, how do I get rid of that? How do I deal with that? How do I actually cope with that? And that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. Now, one thing that I realised from my own anxiety over the years was that I was always struggling to try and find a way to escape it. In fact, I've talked before, but I used to have several addictions, and all of those were a result of me trying to escape my problems. And even when I moved past that, my, default way of trying to deal with my anxiety was trying to figure out how the hell do I get rid of my anxiety. Now, what I realised more recently is that this absolutely isn't the way to deal with it. You see, every single person on this planet, and I'm not exaggerating here, every single person on this planet has some degree of anxiety at times. Now, depending on who you are, you're going to have anxiety more or less in different areas than other people, and sometimes it's going to be really severe, sometimes it's going to be mild. But the thing is, it's always going to be there. There is no way to lead a completely 100% anxiety-free life. So what you need to learn to do, rather than getting rid of anxiety, is how to actually deal with it when it's there. And I learned something amazing really recently, and I'm trying to, apply this myself. This is still new to me, but what I've seen so far in terms of the results so that it works really well. And that is something called acceptance and commitment therapy. And I'm not going to talk too much in detail about it. There are loads of great videos about it on YouTube if you search them out, or if you, read up some content or some books about it. It seems really great to me, and the reason that I like it so much is the core principle of it isn't trying to get rid of your anxiety, it's accepting it. You see, that's the weird thing, you're actually accepting your anxiety, and this is something that worked really well for me. You see, I remember one time I was waiting for some friends to come over, and I hadn't seen them in a while, and basically my social anxiety was at an all-time high. I think I've talked about this in a video before, this particular event, and it was like really at an all-time high. And I was, on the verge of having a panic attack or something. Like, I was really quite anxious at the time, and I didn't know how to calm down, and I knew my friends would be here soon, and I didn't want to be anxious around them. And then just randomly, this was actually before I'd heard about acceptance and commitment therapy, I just told myself that I was going to accept my anxiety, that I was going to say, well, look, okay, so you're anxious, so what? And I sat there and I thought about that, and I was like, yeah, but I don't like how this anxiety feels. And I was like, well, okay, so I'm feeling something unpleasant. Well, lots of things in life are unpleasant. It's okay. It's okay to, not feel perfect all the time. It's okay to feel bad sometimes. So that calmed me down a bit, and then I thought, okay, but I'm still anxious. And I said, well, okay, I'm anxious. Nothing to worry about. And, when I just told myself that it was okay to be anxious and that it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, and that even if it was a bad thing, that wasn't going to kill me or anything like that, it suddenly diffused this thing. Because a lot of anxiety isn't actually the anxiety, of the thing itself. A lot of social anxiety isn't actually anxiety about socializing. It's anxiety about socializing. You are, more anxious about the anxiety itself and worried about, the feeling that you're getting than you are about the actual thing that you're supposed to be worrying about. And so by actually accepting it and just saying it's okay, it can diffuse it, and it can massively reduce, the feeling of anxiety. And also, the next step that you apply then is that you act in spite of it. You say, okay, well, this is okay. It's okay that I'm anxious, and I know that, I want to see these friends, so when they come over, I'm going to interact with them. Whereas, avoidance behaviour would be, calling up your friends to cancel or something like that, which is something that I would have done in the past. But I didn't. I said, it's okay, I'm going to go through with it because it's something that I find important, to socialise with my friends and so on. And so I did that and went down a tree, and it was great, and it was all because I, just accepted it and went through with it anyway. You see, rather than trying to run away from your anxiety, you should accept it and then act in spite of it. The things that you fear, rather than avoiding them, face them even though you fear them. Now, obviously this is easier said than done, much easier said than done, so do this in small steps. But you'll find that once you start to put this into practice and start, not moving away from your fears, but moving towards them, that this is going to be easier and easier each time, and gradually your anxiety will actually start to reduce, even though you're not trying to reduce it. So anyway, I highly recommend trying this out. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you did, remember to subscribe up there because we've got regular videos that come out multiple times a week. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. And if you want to keep watching, check out the video that's linked on screen.